was called End of Part 1.
Yeah.
Does that mean that beginning of Part 2?
We haven't
Hey.
asked that question today.
That's.
That's the
I'm
question.
happy. I'm happy that there's nothing wrong with your arithmetic.
Uh-huh.
Well, end of part one is basically a play with words. It's
Mhm.
basically a title to summon, to epitomise our last 10 years, our last decade of work.
The last kind of 18 singles.
Mhm.
You know, from 1985 to 1995 is our work, and we wanted to put that together because our success has been very sporadic throughout Europe.
Mhm.
We'd maybe have a hit record in France and not a hit record in Italy, and having a hit record in Italy and not having a hit record in France. And for us to put this together seemed like a good idea to fill a space for the forthcoming album of Picture This. And we didn't realise that the success that was going to come through this end of part one. It just seemed to sell millions and millions of albums.
Mhm.
We didn't realise our following was so strong throughout Europe.
And on the end of Part 1, there was a song of the movie
Wow.
Love Is All Around,
From
Four
Four
Weddings
Weddings and a
and a
Funeral.
and a funeral.
Yeah.
It was a big success, like the movie.
Yeah, we it was something we'd always wanted to do, was like do a soundtrack or something, or be involved in a film, and
Do you mind if I smoke?
No?
we finally got the offer when we were recording Picture This to do Love Is All Around. We actually did choice of a Barry Manilow song, a Trogs song, and I think it was a Real Thing song, and we chose the Trogs one because we thought we could do the most with that.
Mhm.
And so we recorded it, and we sort of done it in a couple of days, and we didn't think very much of it, and the record company got back to us and said they loved it, and the people from the movie loved it, and they ended up putting it on the soundtrack,
Mhm.
and then it just went AWOL, you know. It kind of caught us with our trousers down, if you like. You know, we were totally unexpected.
Because Richard Curtis, the man who penned Four Weddings and a Funeral, was a big fan of the band.
Mhm.
And as Neil said, he sent us some songs and wanted us to be involved in the project. And he said, look, I'm writing a song called Four Weddings and a Funeral, and would you like to, put forward, would you like to be involved in it? And we thought, hey, you're a big fan of the Blackadder, and his previous
All his
work.
work.
I mean, we think he's a ridiculously funny man, painfully funny man,
Very dry and witty, very clever.
Mhm.
a very genuine person. And we thought, yeah, okay, maybe involved in that. So we recorded the song Love Is All Around, and we recorded it in 2 days. We went in, we had a few glasses of wine, we recorded the song, we made the song, and like Wet Wet Wet, we took the song from the 60s and gave it the identity of the 90s and our attitude onto the music, and gave it to Richard. Never thought anything of it, and the film just went from strength to strength. It's now the biggest selling. It's now the most, well, the biggest selling British made film of all time. It has now surpassed A Fish Called Wanda, and it's just went from strength to strength. And what I think's really intriguing about the film is the English are laughing at themselves, because there's that kind of pompous English type of person, if you like, that's very pompous. It's very, and they're laughing at themselves, which is very unheard of from the English people, I think. And they appreciated that the British public and English people could take a step back and laugh at the pomposity of what was going on within the movie, and that's what I think the whole world grasped onto. Did you see the film in English, or was it translated in French?
I think it was translated.
How did that? Did you
Did you
lose?
get the same?
Or did you grasp the plot of the?
You lose. I think it's not the same joke.
Well, I often wonder that, how they would translate a comedy, because ultimately the whole key of comedy is timing, and how would that translate it? And
It's better if you see it in the language.
because some of my French friends would say, who speak fluent English, would say, we saw it in English, and we we grasped it a little bit more, and some of the friends saying, oh, we saw it in French, and we didn't really, we kind of missed the plot a little bit.
I saw last week. I saw the movie in French. It's Little Murders between friends. I think it's a Scottish movie.
Oh yes, the
Shallow
one,
Grave?
Shallow Grave. Shallow Grave, yeah.
Yeah.
How did that? Oh, that's a great movie.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a great film.
That's,
That is a
that's
very
great.
good film.
Very
From the
good.
same
Very
makers.
good idea.
From the same
It's
makers
great.
of Four Weddings and a Funeral.
About money in the
Production.
suitcase and the guy dies.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's this
And it
knife.
starts and it very a good black comedy, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I'm a
good.
big fan of that movie too. Shallow Grave. Fantastic.
And Love Is All Around was #1 all over Europe.
Yeah, I mean, worldwide.
Our biggest hit so far.
Mhm.
So
And we can find it in this new album.
Yeah.
You wanted to put it because you thought your big fans didn't buy the
Well, you see,
compilation.
what's so ironic is that we didn't, when we recorded this album in the UK, Love Is All Around wasn't on our greatest hits. It only went on to the European.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, only went on to because we wanted Love Is All Around as part of Picture This.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different releases, it's happened. And within France, Love Is All Around has managed to make it back on. Much to my horror. Much to my horror. And
this wasn't supposed to happen.
this really wasn't supposed to happen, but when I'm 500,000 printed up and it's like...
Now we have to explain it, you know.
I mean, it's a good song, it's put on at the end. I mean, I don't think it's I think our die-hard fans will be buying the album anyway. I mean, if it takes Love Is All Around to be an introduction into it.
But it's you did it like the other songs with the same.
You see, we recorded this song Julia Says first, and the second song we recorded was Love Is All Around. And we approached it with the same attitude as throughout the whole album. Recording techniques, the way to approach it, arrangements. So it deserves to be on that album anyway.
We usually spend about a year recording, usually. Maybe that's been one of our faults, I guess. And because of the success of Love Is All Around, we only took 2 days on it. It was so successful, we decided after that to record the album very quickly.
You know, not spend too time. A lot of the album's been recorded live, and
you've been to several places in France, in Capri.
a lot of the album was actually recorded in Laval beside Brignon. I don't know if my pronunciation is right. Brignon beside Aix-Provence, that area there. And I think that reflects in some of the songs because it's very laid back. We went to a chateau and did some beautiful wine with some nice bread and some good boire and some good food. And
Aix-en-Provence, they say in France that it's the best place to live in France.
Beautiful, beautiful. The people are warm. The clubs are good. The restaurants are nice. There's a lot of the France, the clubs, mafiosi, I don't want to talk about that.
On this record there's a lot of ballads.
Yeah.
But that means you don't want to do. You did a lot of soul pop.
But you say you don't want to do. You've got to do with the songs that take. Whatever the music comes out is what you do. You don't consciously set out to say that we've got to write a song which is like this. Just whatever the music's coming out, that's the path you follow. You pander to your strengths, and that's basically how we're feeling at this time in our life. The music is what's going on.
So that's really how we felt over the last kind of 12 months. You know? We don't go into the studio with a preconceived idea of what kind of song we want to write or what kind of song we don't want to write. We just go in and we play it. And these 11, 12 songs are what come out in that period.
It depends about what you hear at the moment.
Yeah, how you're feeling as an individual, and basically that album's a documentation of our last 8 months of work. You know, since then we've continued to write, so it's different.
And our feelings, emotions and where we visited and saw those emotions in one.
All the songs are credited wet, wet, wet. That means everyone is involved in the
Yeah, I
writing.
think it's,
It's always
we
been
are,
that way from
when it says, excuse me, can I just say, when it says written and performed by Wet Wet Wet, you know, and produced by Graham Clark and Graham Duffin from Wet Wet Wet, with the initial idea of they are members, but Graham Clark and Graham Duffin are the production team within the band. The songs all come from the nucleus, which is Wet Wet Wet. And, you know, we tend to keep, we think we're great believers in being involved in our own work and having very much control of what we do, because if it doesn't work, there's no point in walking away and blaming a producer or blaming the record company or blaming the manager. It's purely down to you as an individual.
Blame other person. Sometimes it can be the fault of a record company.
Yeah, if that be the case, but we have never fallen into that trap. We have always been self-produced, always had our own ideas about sleeve design. We direct our own videos, are very much involved with the directors. We pick who takes our pictures. We're very much a hands-on band.
And the more success that we have, the more control we have. So it's very, it kind of
balances out. That's why 10 years down the line, we're still having success and we haven't fallen by the wayside. Because initially in '87 people maybe perceived us as a teeny bop phenomenon. We were 21 years of age. The people who were buying our records were only 4 years younger than us, so they had an affinity with the age group. But as we've grown as people and musicians, and our attitude has changed, and so has our audience. You know, change people's perception of how they perceive whether it be through the music. Let the music do the talking, not the haircut, not who you get your picture taken with, because that's all bollocks. We're talking about music here. There's a whole industry thing that happened in the 80s, and the late 80s with the Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the production, the to be you know, really bastardised by the kind of thrown together and having bands that come up and it's five nice looking guys and they're not writing the songs, they're not performing the songs, they're not playing the songs. So we can't fall into that category because we write our own music, we produce it, we design our own sleeves. We're not a fashion orientated band, that's quite obvious. We wear what's clean. It's as simple as that. We let the music do the talking.
We can play live, and we tend to think that if you can sing a song, one of our songs, and play it on the guitar or piano, then it stands up just like that. It's a great song, whereas the Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the production songs, the rave songs, are just shit.
The whole 80s thing where
synthesizers.
Yeah, synthesizers, and people were more interested in who produced the record, be it Trevor Horn or whatever. It was like, oh, that's produced by Trevor Horn. And the producers were coming to the forefront. Oh, that's bollocks.
It's fine, but it's not where we come from. You know, it's not our style. It's not what we want to do. You know? I mean, people are still playing Beatles records from the 60s, and they are just, you know, real instruments, piano, guitar, bass.
Exactly. George Martin has came to the forefront because he complemented the band.
And they still
Phil Spector as well was if you like, the Trevor Horn of the 60s, Phil Spector, but he still complemented the artists that he worked with. He didn't come to the forefront, he used the talent which surrounded him and blended it in the music and made great music.
So that's where we come from, that's what we strive for, is our records to be played, and these records still be played today.
A simple, I mean, it's a real grassroots feeling, it's just basically simple. Let the music do the talking. I can talk to you all day and tell you how brilliant we are and we do this and we do that. At the end of the day, when you put the record on, you'll make the decision. I mean, I can talk to you and convince you by using the words. At the end of the day, when you put the music on, you think, that's a good song, that's a shit song. And that's what you live and die by. Unfortunately, it's a CD now, it's not a record anymore.
There's a song, Love Is My Shepherd. The lyrics are written by Chris DeFord. Who is the guy?
Formerly, well, he's still a member of Squeeze.
That's Squeeze.
It's something that we'd never done before. We'd always wrote songs like this, wet. We thought it'd be nice to get an outside, an angle, if you like, a different perspective on the track.
You brought in the music.
Yeah, he
Good,
Well, we first approached Elvis Costello. Big fan, a great wordsman, very prolific, and very English and very, he's very
eccentric almost.
very articulate and very profound in his approach to lyrics. And he was working on an Alan Bleasdale play, the Alan Bleasdale play with Peter Trench or doing string arrangements. Do you know Alan Bleasdale, the playwright? Bleasdale? Bleasdale? Alan Bleasdale is a playwright.
Liverpudlian English writer.
no.
He does play by Louise. His plays are fantastic. And Elvis was working with him on the score for his new forthcoming play. And we approached Elvis and said, would you like to come and work with us on this scenario of, penning some words? We sent him some music and he said, look, I'm busy, why don't you go and work with Chris from Squeeze? Because we've been big fans of Squeeze and it's all, we'd always talk about Squeeze and Costello. And he said, well, go and work with Chris, because we like Chris. So Elvis contacted Chris and said, would you want to go and work with the Wets? And he said, well, that's a great, I like their music. And he came down with Chris Hine with a few coffees, and a couple of days later they came out with this. Love Is My Shepherd and She Might Never Know. A rather poignant song. There's many, do you like the song, Love Is My Shepherd?
Yeah.
Very good, yeah, I particularly like his Bible references towards it, it's quite, Love Is My Shepherd. Almost religious, but it isn't, there is a kind of dark connotation to it.
That's a nice artwork in this
John
album.
Byrne, yeah.
I tried the album picture this.
John Byrne, do you know John Byrne? He was a very famous Scottish playwright.
No, I didn't know.
No, he's quite famous.
John Byrne.
John Byrne.
Which
some
one is
BAFTA, he's
your
won
favorite?
By Wesley Banks, yeah.
Fucking spot on, eh?
Is that me or what?
That's spot on.
And
On me?
normally you're a smiley person, and
It's very
you're
moody.
Mm-hmm.
very.
This is my.
So you like this?
Well, he wanted to make me almost look Edwardian. He wanted it to have a very Edwardian, almost Victorian feel, very poetic. Rabbie Burns. Very, yeah. He wanted to show me as almost a poet. I enjoy this. This is very complimentary and very monumental and almost very complimentary. But my favourite piece is this piece by John Byrne. I actually bought this piece.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love that.
A big one?
It's not actually that big.
No?
It's about maybe this size. Because it has all elements. It has musical elements. It has a sense of humour. And I think he's captured what they're wet in the true light. And we don't take ourselves very seriously, but we take our music very seriously. And there's a humour within this piece that it's very laconic. It's many things. It's many things to me anyway, and I think this is a great piece by John Byrne. What about do you know this Peter Howson? Peter Howson, he's this guy. The guy who did this, Peter Howson.
No.
He was commissioned by the British government to go to Bosnia. And this guy here, he documented it. He did a lot of very heavy paintings of Bosnia.
About Bosnia.
Bosnia war chorus. He is very prolific and very deep. And I really like this picture because it's chunky for me, and I really like it. I don't claim to be knowledgeable about the art world, but I know what I like and I know what I don't.
There's an exhibition tonight. Maybe I'm gonna go.
There's so many pieces that will make you laugh and take you many places. All it is basically you come along, you have a few drinks, you listen to the music, you look at the paintings, have a nice night, and it would have been very easy for us to come to Paris with a couple of acoustic guitars and sing a few songs. Basically all we want to do is come here, play some music, have a few drinks, look at some paintings and visit some friends we haven't seen for a while. It's been a pleasure since we've had the company of bands.
And you come back soon,
May the
Paris?
23rd to December.
Yeah. That's a big tour.
Sure, it's,
Oh yeah, it's a world tour. It's been a while since we've been to Paris. Remember the first time we played Paris in the Rex Club? You know the Rex Club?
Rex Club, yeah.
Oh, great club.
we're doing that.
And now it's the Zenith. Did you play there before?
Yeah, we played before a couple of times. The rest have gone to Australia and Southeast Asia and New Zealand and South Africa and stuff.
Would you like a drink?
No, thank you. I drink a lot of water
You want some
downstairs.
water, maybe some drink?
No, thank you.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to it. Been in the studio for 6 months. It's nice to go on the road.
Did you do a tour before this album? After this album? I mean.
Yeah,
but it
we've
was,
done like
it was only shows
4 or
in-
5 shows.
Yeah,
in
four,
the UK.
4 or 5 shows throughout Europe, and then we went to America. We did some Los Angeles, New York, Texas, so went to Canada, but in Europe.
And did you begin the tour or
We
did
started
you
tour in 5 days, 6 days time in Europe, and that's us right up until November.
So far.
So
Busy.
far, the leg
busy
starts
summer.
here, and it's
Yeah.
8 months. The first leg lasts 8 months, and then you have like 2 or 3 weeks off, and then you start again to maybe into America.
You still like to tour?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because it all makes sense. I mean, me,
just do
us
the record.
talking to you and what I said earlier, and it's not really what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's people coming to see you, you're plugging in, you say, this is a song.
There's no better feeling than seeing a live audience
When
coming
people
to
say,
see you
yeah,
play,
now I see Wet Wet Wet.
dancing and singing to the music.
Because this is Wet 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 in the studio. Come and see us live and you will see a completely different interpretation of the song. It will maybe grow higher, it may be taken lower, and that's the whole beauty of being able to play your instruments. For 5-6 years before we had success, we played colleges, universities, prisons. We'd play anywhere that would have us before we had success. We've now been doing this collectively for 15 years. We've only had the 8 years of success. If you can't play your instruments by 15 years, it's time to call it a day. You know, because the people will see that. We've been doing it for 15 years now. We're in my 30s now, you know, so I mean, I think you should have your shit together by now.
And how many are you on stage? You got a horn section?
Yeah, right, yeah. 3-piece horn section.
And
And our
the
guitarist.
4.
Before us.
There's 8 of us. We have some tricks, some toys to use.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, the 8 of us could come in here and play you the songs. There's no like people tend to shy away from computers and you know the emphasis on the song should be able to hold itself on a guitar before it goes any further. The structure of all our songs hold themselves on a piano or a guitar, so that you know the song's there. You know what I mean? It holds itself. There is a structure before you start to dress the song up by arranging it. So
Do you still play a Beatles cover?
we might play a Beatles cover, we might play a Little Feat song, we might play an Elton John song, we might play a Clash song.
Because you did With a Little Help from My Friend, and
Oh, yeah.
I got a video. You did I Feel Fine,
The Lennon concert.
the Lennon concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big fans of the
Did
Beatles.
Yeah,
you
we're-
change? It depends when you want to
Well,
do
recently
one.
we went to Memphis and played a tribute to Elvis Costello.
In
I mean,
Memphis?
Elvis Presley song.
Elvis Presley, huh?
I always get my Elvises mixed up. Both of them are fat. Elvis Presley, we went to Memphis, and did you have that over here, the Elvis Presley tribute?
No.
Oh no.
No.
What a night that was. We all went to Graceland's at the big party. Brian Adams and it says
Priscilla
Lot-
Presley.
Michael Jack. Everyone was there. Priscilla. What a night, eh? Great. We did.
Priscilla.
No, we did. No, we didn't do that. We did. What
We
was the
wanted
song we
to.
done? Or Solomio.
It's
Now
now
or
or
never.
never.
Yeah,
It's now or never.
we did this now or never, and then we also did In the Ghetto for comic relief within the UK. Richard Curtis. He wanted us to be involved in comic relief Yeah, you know this Comic Relief?
Really?
Comic Relief is
It's like
a,
a kind of charity.
a UK thing with
TV,
you raise
they raise money
110
for
million so
deprived
far.
countries. in
Billy
the UK
Connolly,
and stuff.
everyone.
Very common.
A lot of all the
I'm
comedians.
sure you
come
have the
here.
same equivalent in France.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
We
a
did.
TV prison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. And it was all the people from Blackadder, the young ones, Fringe and Saunders.
Mhm.
Very, and we did a lot of Elvis Presley stuff too. And we like to do covers because we feel as if we can approach them and add something to them, or else we won't
Yeah.
touch it. Some songs you don't touch, but because I believe I have a strong gift of vocal, I've been lucky enough to be given a voice, and I can sometimes complement certain songs. So we like to do other people's songs now and again. So we might give you a, hey, you know our song Love Is All Around?
Yeah.
This song? Have you heard R.E.M's interpretation of it?
No.
Oh, there you go. You should go and listen to that.
They did it before.
Oh yeah,
yours, yeah.
oh yeah. R.E.M. do a version of Love Is All Around. It's a great version. Wet 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 do a version of Love Is All Around. And obviously the Trogs did it. It shows you how diverse songwriting can be and how you can change it. Different people can approach it.
It's
can
like an
approach
artist,
it.
you know.
Yeah, you can approach it. You know, you can go
Approach the
different
song
angles.
differently.
As getting by with a little help from my friends, the definitive version of that is Joe Cocker for me.
Yes.
Uncle Joe, as we call him.
Mhm.
We did a gig in Belgium, and on the it was Wet Wet Wet, Ringo Starr and his all-star band, and Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker.
And we
all
all
the
did the same
bands,
song,
yeah.
and each band did a different interpretation of the song, and everyone loved it. And it shows you the power of the diversity of how people can perceive songwriting. There's a whole beauty to it.
Did you wait do you wait the new recording of the three Beatles? They're gonna
You have
Oh, the new,
record
the two
something,
together.
or-
Well, I don't know, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I mean, the Beatles are an institution. Really, you know, you say you have an R&B sound, you have a pop sound, you have a blues sound. You hear records now and you say, that's very Beatlesque. You know, that sounds like the Beatles. They have a sound in themselves now. They are an institution. I'd be intrigued to, well, are you a Beatles fan?
Yeah.
Well, you, like myself, will be intrigued to see. You always want to find that Beatles songs that no one else has heard because you are a fan. What might happen when they come together with the voice of John? You don't know. I'm intrigued. I'll buy it.
Yeah, sure.
I buy it with the hope to be inspired and not disappointed. And you?
Yeah. I wait for.
Aye. Well, I wonder what it's like.
Okay. Can you sign it for me?
Oh.